of Leicester, who punched their ticket to the fourth round yesterday at the expense of Fleetwood. Two other matches on tap today, with Swansea hosting Wolves and 2013 FA Cup winners Wigan facing Bournemouth. FA Cup matchday here on FS1 is brought to you by Ford. Go further. A very warm welcome to Fox Sports coverage of the FA Cup. Kate Abdo alongside Warren Barton and Stu Holden this morning. Welcome, sirs.
We're back.
Good to see you. Kick-off between Chelsea and Norwich has been delayed by 15 minutes. That's due to traffic issues. So let's get on and check out the starting lineups for both of these sides, beginning with the home side, Chelsea. Stu.
Yeah, Antonio Conte is rolling out a 3-4-2-1. The back three, as you'll see, Ampadu gets the youngster is in, the number 44 there with David Luiz in the middle, who just recently returned from injury. Azpilicueta, who's actually the captain in the side today. An experienced midfield, Danny Drinkwater, who won the title with Leicester. Bakayoko alongside him, one of the summer signings. Another summer signing, Zappa Costa on that right side. And Batshuayi, who will be leading the line, number 23.
Norwich counter with this 11, Warren.
Yeah, and they're going to match up as they did in Carrow Road with that three system at the back. Great to see a legend Guns, son in goal, who's come through the ranks at Manchester City. There's your back three, going to be well marshalled. I like Lewis on the left-hand side, Pinto as well here, try and push forward the Portuguese player. Another Portuguese player, number 9, Oliveira, international. But keep your eye out for Maddison, he's got 8 goals. And also Josh Murphy, he's got 8 as well. And they've got Houlihan on the bench, who's got experience in the Premier League when Norwich was last there.
And here was the Chelsea boss, Antonio Conte, just moments ago.
Antonio, you've made a number of changes to the lineup today, as expected. Is that a bit of a gamble, considering that this is a game you really want to win?
I don't know, but for sure we don't have another way. And also in the other cup, and we tried to do in the same way, and we reached the semi-final in Carabao Cup. Now I think we don't have another possibility, and I think that this is the right way, and I trust to my players, to everyone, and yeah, I want to try to win and to go to the next round.
You have no trouble keeping clean sheets in recent games, but scoring has been a little bit problematic. Is that something that worries you? What do you put it down to?
Yeah, the positive aspect that we are conceding less than the past and the last season, but at the same time we are not scoring. We are not scoring a lot, and for sure we have to improve our quality in our finishing. Yeah, we have to improve in this aspect.
VAR will be in use again tonight. We saw it used successfully in the FA Cup last night. Is that something that you're in favour of? Is it something that you think is good for football, or is it a distraction?
No, I'm in favour. I think this is a good option for to improve the football, and especially to solve some strange situations, especially if there is a big mistake from the referee. Yeah, it's right this way.
Well, it was 20 years ago that Chelsea were last eliminated in the FA Cup third round. Warren, defeat today would only turn up the pressure, which is already substantial on Antonio Conte.
And I think it's been all season, you know, since the beginning of the season, where he's not really brought his own players in. He's always been a constant battle, whether it's with the owner or the people that assign him technical director. But for me, he's a wonderful coach. For what he did last season to win the Premier League with the system that he changed after 3 or 4 games, I think he's a very good coach. It'll be Chelsea's loss if he ends up either one, being pushed out the door, or just walking out there.
But does that now look inevitable at this point in time?
Yeah, I think we've heard from good rumours, I've heard from good rumours, that the owners had enough of maybe the antics, not doing well. As you said, they've not scored a goal in the last 3 games. They just sacked someone, and they've had this. And you look at the list of coaches that they've had, they're not all bad coaches.
But that suggests it's about performance, whereas rumours are that it's more about the relationship with the club's hierarchy.
He performed so well last season. You're going to have blitz. I mean, Manchester City are running away with it. United are having a good season. Liverpool have come into it. You know, what Chelsea did, he's had to deal with leaving out players like David Luiz. So the FA Cup is important for Chelsea to try and win something this year. But go back to what I said earlier. For them to try and push Conte out of the boat would be a huge mistake, because they need to have consistency with a good coach. And as I said, he's a very good coach in my opinion.
Consistency and Chelsea don't necessarily go together, do they? Over the past 10 years, you could call it. And I think a manager of Conte's quality and what he's achieved in his managerial career, and then comes to Chelsea and then wins the title in his first season, he deserves to be backed. He deserves the respect of the board, and now you can say, well, they spent $200 million plus in the summer transfer window. They went out and they got Morata, but that wasn't Conte's first choice. I mean, he made it open that he wanted Lukaku. He even just openly just came out recently and said, well, why wouldn't we be in for a player like Alexis Sanchez? I think it's a bargain. He's a player that you could get for £20 million. You might have to pay substantial wages to, but he's a player that I value at $100 million. And so it doesn't really seem that he's turning the pressure up publicly towards Abramovich and whoever's on the board and saying, look, the signings that you're going out and getting aren't my players. I want the players that fit into my system. This is my style of play. I know how to win here. I came in and proved that in my first season in the Premier League, and they haven't done that. And so there is that fire there, and Abramovich doesn't deal with that. He clearly doesn't care. No, he'll pay you up, out the door, see you later, next guy up.
But you can't keep on changing over coaches, because these are good coaches, and Antonio Conte has proven that to deal with a team that was, as I said, not really the strongest Chelsea team to run away with the league. They've done okay in the Champions League. The players that they're trying to bring in there, first and foremost, if you find a good coach, try and stick with it. That's what happened with Sir Alex Ferguson many, many years ago. Stick with someone to go along. You can't keep training, but that's the
If you've got Allegri on the horizon, why wouldn't Abramovich look at it?
Would you say that, Kate? What's the difference with Allegri and Conte? Or Simeone? They're the two names that have been linked. Is there any difference between them? I think no, there's nothing different between Simeone. They're all excellent coaches. So all you're really doing is changing a name. So you're not going to change any. But one with Chelsea, and I will say with Abramovich, every time he changes, they have success. So it might be a crazy way of doing it.
Oh, well, if Chelsea do indeed part ways with Antonio Conte,
expensive, yeah.
His replacement would become their 10th different manager since the start of 2008. Both Carlo Ancelotti and Jose Mourinho, remember, lost their jobs not long after winning the Premier League. Roberto Di Matteo was sacked just months after capturing the Champions League crown even. Conte today placing his faith.
Well, don't win anything then, and you might keep the job. As soon as you win the trophy, you get the sack.
Forward with Chelsea. Conte today putting his faith in this man here, Willy Caballero against Norwich. The winner, of course, booking a date against Newcastle. Coming up, we'll show you how Leicester assured their presence in the next round.
One game separates you from your dream.
You want to be good, you want to be great.
With a trip to the Super Bowl on the line.
Let's get this win.
Who will survive?